Welcome back to the Sophia D Radio Show. We are with the one and only Erin Pate, owner of Erin Pate Media, one of my favorite filmmakers, storytellers. I don't know, whatever Erin does, I'm like, it's Erin. He's just good at what he does.
Thank you.
I'm gonna give him his flowers while we're on this show today. So, this is a little different from episode 1. So let's talk about you are environmentally conscious, and I love that. I am half there. Okay, so I want you to talk about your 2023 litter sweep result you did. I thought that was very neat.
Oh, thank you.
If I see a recycling bin, I will definitely recycle, but I'm not fully committed to it being like a daily practice, except with my grocery bags, because I will bring a reusable bag in a minute. Sure will.
That's a big one.
I'll walk up in Publix did not endorse this, but I will walk up in Publix with my reusable bags. Hi, hey Georgia, hello, how you doing? I got my bags.
Yeah, the bags are such a big one because every one of those bags that you use, when you go and get like a jug of milk, they're like double, triple, quadruple. They put so many bags around it, so I always feel like every one of my bags, and they've seen some years. It's about time to replace them. But every single one of those has saved hundreds of plastic bags from going into the waste stream. And the thing is that they don't stay. There is no away. There is no trash. There is no. We send things to the landfill, and they don't always make it there, or they blow out of there. So
you picked up like 4,090.
I don't remember the exact number
pieces of plastic
off the top of my head, but what we do is, I was in the habit of every once in a while, especially at the entrance of my neighborhood, there's a spot where the neighborhood enters into the highway, and a lot of trash accumulates there. And it's a great example of like litter doesn't always come from litter bugs. It's going to be there. The stuff that we use ends up on the ground somewhere sometimes. So I go up there and I clean up the front of the neighborhood. It calms me down. I find it very meditative. It's peaceful. It's just something physical in our work. Like you don't always get an immediate visual result for the effort that you put in. Things take a long time. So it's kind of an instant gratification thing for me. So I really enjoy it. It's time that I get to spend outside, and I make things. I'm a former Eagle Scout. I guess you're always an Eagle Scout, so it's leave it better than you found it. So I found that in South Carolina, there's a citizen science initiative. If there's other thing besides Earth stewardship for me that you could say about me is that I'm a nerd, for sure. So I found out that they collect data on what all the trash is that they're picking up, and then they'll record that and they'll use that to get policies changes or to bring a community to awareness about the problem they have. If we can't count it, we can't change it. So that got me really excited because I'm a nerd, and I started doing, instead of just cleaning up the trash, I started quantifying it. So we'll count how many cigarette butts or how many plastic bottles or how many grocery bags, and that way we can kind of describe the nature of the problem a little more.
That's very clever.
Specific. And there's group events in town too. So when I forget, when I get out of the habit of doing that, I go out to one of those things. I get a little social activity, and I just it's important to me. I think we all enjoy outdoor spaces when they're cleaner.
You said a line which is so important. Leave it better than we found it, because that's actually on your website. And how did you transition your mindset to leave it better than we found it, even with your business?
Yeah. So I wish I knew the path to get there from zero, because I think a lot of people are going to start, and everybody starts at a different position, but my parents really raised me to be environmentally conscious from early on. When it came to the business, I just saw an opportunity. I kind of thought, when you start a business, when you're a business owner, you're trying to do things differently than other people. You see other people doing things that could be done better. You see a need, you want to fix it. And I said, if I'm going to do this thing, if I'm going to work for me, if I'm going to do it my way, then why not do it better? So I'm not the only one who's doing that. Hollywood's across the board. Hollywood's introducing sustainability initiatives everywhere. But I look for little ways. I mean, it comes naturally to me that if I see the waste, I'm going to try to find a way to design around it. So I try to do things with the business that keeps it in mind. It's not perfect, you know. There's I think perfection is the enemy of good enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's better to get started. It's better to just try to change things here and there.
You know, talking about that change and really kind of owning your design, I want to talk about AI, artificial intelligence. It's a big thing.
Oh boy.
And it's something that it was one of the things that I enjoyed studying in my master's program. Are you using AI, and do you think AI is changing the game for filmmakers and storytellers?
That's a great question. Okay, so that's a real hot topic right now, and I think for good reason. There's been a lot of new development. I'm not gonna try to predict the future because I am not that foolish.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I really don't know where we're going with this, and even the people who are involved in that industry are telling us they're not really sure what's next, and that could be exciting. It should be exciting. I think it's a lot easier if we think of it that way and look for opportunities. I am using AI in a few small ways. It just sort of popped in. Automatic subtitles, like like audio transcription for subtitles has gotten better, based on AI, and there's some. You know, if you're working on a document and you just need to get started, I think you can feed a prompt in and get it. So I've used things like that, but right now that's about it. I really haven't. I've tried to use a couple of other tools, and I think what's interesting to me is you have to get good at using those tools just like any other tool.
Yes, sir.
So the things that I've tried to use, I've been like these results are not passable for me, and so it becomes just like working with somebody who doesn't quite see your vision yet, and you have to figure out how to teach them what you want done. So I don't have any immediate large use for it. I see it as an opportunity to speed things up that don't need a human touch.
Sure. Yes.
And I would love to see like more and more of the work of my business exclusively being the parts that have to have the human touch. Your story and the conversations that we have together. Yeah. Like I wouldn't have sent an AI here to talk to you instead of me being here. That didn't make any sense. So there's things that only we can do. Yeah. The connection is only a human thing.
Absolutely.
You can simulate it, but that defeats the purpose. Yeah.
Because AI cannot tell my story.
Exactly.
You've not been through the pain, the suffering, the crying, the good things, the emotions. Yeah.
If it gets there, then I'll interview an AI about it. Yeah, it'll be fascinating. But that's a whole nother thing. That's not. Right now, it's like there's a lot of stuff where I feel like it's like, oh, spell check got better. Yeah. But that's those kind of things are really immediate help. I would encourage business owners and filmmakers to explore the tools that are available.
Absolutely.
But. Yeah. That's about all I've. Yeah. Yeah. That's all I've explored with it so far.
What's been your favorite project so far?
Ever or over the past year?
I would say ever.
Favorite project ever. Oh man. Okay. Let me think on that for a second. I'm going through my archive in my brain.
Go through that archive.
I think probably. I'll stick with more recent because what I'm really excited about right now is last year I teamed up with a nonprofit that's based out of South Carolina they're brand new, and I think they've got a lot of big things coming in 2024. And this also ties into the sustainability focus. So there's a nonprofit based out of Charleston called the Root Down Building Collective, and their focus is climate smart, equitable, and affordable housing. Ooh, nice. So what they're working on is from design to construction to like the materials themselves to like just community outreach and education and workshops to get people involved in looking at alternatives. They're looking to build buildings that are more sustainable environmentally, the things that have material. There's a lot of toxic materials that are in the building industry, and that disproportionately affects low-income communities, and so there's a social justice issue embedded in that as well. So I'm really excited about the work that they're doing. And last year I got to partner up with them and do some media content, some storytelling content for their outreach and their advocacy, and that is an essential part of going to the funding sources that they need to raise money from, is to go in and actually show the work that they're doing and talk and hear them talk about what they're doing with the level of expertise that they have. So I was really excited to get to work with those guys last year, and hoping to work with them a lot this year.
Ooh, congratulations. That's awesome. Yes. Who is your favorite filmmaker, and who would you like to collaborate with?
Oh, favorite filmmaker. It's hard for me to do favorites. I always do like top threes.
Okay,
and things like
top
that,
three.
and things like that.
Yeah.
But people that I want to collaborate with, I want to collaborate with more of the colleagues in my immediate vicinity. There's a lot of people in town that I haven't gotten to collaborate with, and I don't want to name names and make anybody else jealous that I didn't mention them. But everybody locally that I haven't gotten to work with, I want to work with. I got to do a lot last year working with some of the other media agencies that are in town, and they all have different things that they do well, and we always learn a lot from each other. So I really enjoy that. But you want me to drop a director name of somebody that I enjoy watching.
Yes.
So I want to say, staying in the documentary space.
I really do hope I know these people. That's what I'm hoping and praying. Because I'm gonna say yeah.
But if I tell you something you haven't heard of, then you got an opportunity to check something out.
Yes.
So I don't want to be like Steven Spielberg, George Lucas. I'm not going to name things. I want to give you something fresh. Okay.
Okay.
There is a documentary filmmaker whose show I believe is on HBO Max right now.
Oh yeah, I don't know who this person is.
And his name is John Wilson, and he has a show called How To with John Wilson.
Okay.
And I think the show is wrapping up. They've done 3 seasons, but he's based out of New York, and it's kind of got this. It's got this just amazing. There's an amazing curiosity to his approach. It's very funny, and for a city that I think is stereotyped for being unpleasant in a lot of ways, the people and the sounds and the sights. He has such fun with it, and he talks with people who have amazing stories. He always finds a story, and I think what makes that's the filmmaking side of it. The way that the show comes together as a viewer, you never really know exactly where it's going to go next. So I really like the way that he does that. Yeah, that would be. I'd say if I had to drop one recommendation right now, I'd say if you missed How To with John Wilson over the past year, that's my recommendation.
Well, John Wilson, I'm sorry. I have never heard of you before, but I'm going to look you up.
Don't worry. He's doing fine.
I'm going to look you up.
But you're missing out. Yeah. You're missing out. Just some wild, Yeah.
Okay, John Wilson, you have a new fan.
Yeah.
I promise. So, last question. Hate to see you go, but you can always come back to your sister's show.
I would love to.
Always.
Of course.
When booking Aaron Pate Media for services, can you talk about the process to your discovery call?
Okay.
Like what makes that so unique? Because I was discovery call. What is that?
So what's interesting is everybody knows that they need to have some kind of content.
Yes.
Not everybody knows why.
Yeah.
Or what that's supposed to look like. So I am focused on working with people right now who are in that space, who have no idea where to go next with that. And instead of talking about making a video, I get in a conversation with people, I talk about what their needs are, what their goal is. So it's a discovery for both of us. I mostly get on that call to listen to what that business owner's goal is for the next quarter, for the next 6 months, for the next year. Where do you want to be? Where are you now? Where do you want to be? To find out how the business operates, how do you make sales? Where does your revenue come from? Do you have an existing marketing team? What does that look like? And then I tell them a little bit about my filmmaking process so they can find out about how I do things. And then at the end of that call, we decide if we want to set up a strategy meeting or not. Because a lot of people are ready. They're like, we need to make some media, and they want to dive right into a talk about that video. But if you don't know what you're trying to accomplish, then I think you can end up not using those resources as well as you could. So it's a meeting to see if we go together. I'm pretty exclusive. I only take on a dozen or so really big clients each year to do deep storytelling work with their brand, and we get on that call to find out if we're a fit.
Nice. Yeah. So how can the people connect with you?
So people can connect with me in a lot of different ways. You probably just bump into me at a coffee shop in Spartanburg most of the time. That's the best. I am on Instagram and on LinkedIn, and I have a website. It's aarondpate.com, where you can set up a discovery call and meet with me to see if we're going to work together or not. Yeah. But I always appreciate engaging with people on Instagram. Yeah. That's my favorite. Yeah. I share my work there, but also my thoughts on how we do things, behind the scenes stuff, and and occasionally if I've picked up a lot of trash, I'll show people a picture of that. Yeah. So, but those are all my and it's Aaron D. Pate at all of those places.
It's Aaron Pate, y'all. On the Sophia D radio show, we're going to listen to Al Harris. Hey, Al, where you at? I ain't seen you about 2 years. It's Aaron Pate on the Sophia D radio show, one of the baddest filmmakers in the upstate. Book him. Hello, it's 2024. It's all about growth this year.
Hey, yeah. The life. I said it's the life. Yeah. Hey, yo, I see y'all out there living y'all life, man. Live it up. I went from sleeping on the bunk inside a cage to home ownership. While people was afraid of that life, I was condoning it. It helped that I was raised with a mice known to roam. If you got it out the mud, I slept there. I was homeless, living was only torture, and I could have done without it. But God rerouted, and now my mama the proudest. When performing at events, she be screaming the loudest. We done came a long way from duct tape on the couches. Missed most of my youth, so now I'm drinking from the fountain. You hold a scary future when drugs is the form of counseling. Okay, I get it now, you got them bouncing. I'd rather people focus on the words that I'm announcing. I discovered my worth by knowing God is my accountant. Blessing after blessing, will it stop? I'm still counting. Seeds manifest, good or bad, they still sprout. Mama, we made it out before the glass touch your mouth. Here's a toast to the life, something we could only dream. I do it for them nights I had to hear my mama scream. This for every sacrifice I ever made to be free. I wanted eternal life, God gave it to me. I receive it in faith and love. I vow never to break. The struggle made me tough, my spirit won't deflate. Superman don't always come with a cape. For that we celebrate the life that so many take for granted. The flesh gotta die before you fully understand it. When it comes to my demands and my family and the frantic, I pray my children can manage in a world that's so damaged. I'm blessed to have a strong bond with my wife's parents. No model for a father figure, I just watched Barron. My daddy never followed through, he just stopped caring. I was raised by them wolves until it changed my appearance. The devil is a thief and I was robbed by the serpent. He wanted my identity, live and in person, but everything he stands for jeopardized purpose. If praise is a weapon, I just maximize worship. It's real, no rehearsal, the spirit is universal. Comfort to the soul from everybody that hurt you. I raise a glass to painful memories, let's keep them in the past. My only enemy is me, how could I brag? Here's a toast to the life, something we could only dream. I do it for them nights I had to hear my mama scream. This for every sacrifice I ever made to be free. I